The power of confidence after 60, no makeup required. Have you ever looked in the mirror and thought, who is that woman staring back at me? Maybe her hair's a little thinner, the lines a little deeper, and the eyes not quite as bright as they used to be. Or maybe they are just as bright, but the world stopped seeing them that way. And somehow, over time, you started to forget how powerful you really are. You know, it's funny how we spend decades trying to meet everyone else's expectations, look a certain way, smile at the right times, keep everything polished and pleasant. Somewhere along the way, confidence got tangled up with concealer. Beauty started feeling like a chore. And if you've ever felt like your value depends on how youthful you appear, you are so not alone. But here's the truth, confidence after 60 doesn't need mascara or foundation. It doesn't need a wrinkle cream or a salon dye job. It just needs you, the real, unfiltered, unshakable you. And in this video, we're going to talk about what that kind of confidence looks like, how you can tap into it, and why it might just be the most attractive thing you've ever worn. Let's start with this, confidence isn't loud. It doesn't walk into a room demanding attention. It's quiet. Steady. It knows who it is. It doesn't flinch when someone says, you look tired, or you're brave for going out without makeup. No, it smiles, says thank you, and goes about its day. Because it knows beauty isn't in how you look, it's in how you carry yourself. And carrying yourself with confidence after 60? That starts with letting go of comparison. Oh, comparison, the thief of joy. We've all done it. Flipping through magazines or scrolling on our phones, seeing women our age who seem flawless, vibrant, perfectly put together. And suddenly, we're shrinking. Doubting. Why don't I look like that? But here's something no one says out loud, those women. They're often just as insecure as you. And those pictures? They're edited, filtered, staged. What really sets a woman apart isn't her skin, it's her spirit. It's the way she laughs without apologizing. The way she stands tall, even with a sore back. The way she wears her age like a badge, not a burden. And the moment you stop measuring yourself against someone else's highlight reel is the moment you start living your own story out loud. Another powerful shift happens when you start treating your body as your ally, not your enemy. Maybe your knees ache in the morning. Maybe your arms aren't as firm. That's okay. Your body has carried you through decades of joy, heartbreak, growth, survival. It's a living record of everything you've overcome. That wrinkle by your mouth? It's from all the times you smiled at someone you love. That scar near your shoulder? A memory of a challenge you conquered. Confidence blooms when you stop wishing your body was different and start honoring what it has done for you. Instead of criticizing your reflection, try speaking to it the way you'd speak to a dear friend. You've done well. You've carried me far. And you're still going. You'd be surprised how powerful that small act of kindness can be. And here's something else, confidence grows when you rediscover what lights you up. It's easy to forget when the routines pile up, when the kids are grown, when retirement sets in. But there's still so much to explore, so much to learn, so much to enjoy. Maybe it's watercolor painting. Maybe it's ballroom dancing. Maybe it's mentoring a younger woman who's still figuring things out. When you fill your days with things that nourish your soul, you naturally start shining brighter. No blush required. People often say, I just don't feel like myself anymore. And I get that. Life changes, bodies change, roles shift. But here's a thought, maybe now is your chance to finally meet the version of you that isn't shaped by anyone else's opinion. No more raising children. No more keeping up appearances. Just you, stripped of expectations, standing in your truth. So take a breath. Sit with that. What would it feel like to walk into a room, not trying to look younger, but owning exactly who you are? What if your presence, your warmth, your wisdom, what if that was enough to turn heads? Because here's the secret, it already is. You see, real confidence doesn't need permission. It doesn't need a flawless face or the approval of strangers. It needs honesty. It needs courage. And most of all, it needs love. Love for yourself, love for your story, love for this season of life that holds just as much beauty as any that came before. Let's talk about the quiet power of saying no to things that drain you. Saying no to people who make you feel small. Saying no to unrealistic beauty standards. That kind of boundary setting is an act of confidence. And when you stop trying to fit in and start choosing what feels right for you, you begin to build a life that reflects who you truly are. And the beautiful part? The more you practice this, day by day, choice by choice, the more natural it becomes. You'll stop reaching for the foundation to fix your face and start reaching for your own voice to speak your truth. You'll stop hiding behind age and start standing tall in your years. Because you've earned them. You've earned every line, every freckle, every story etched into your skin. And when you begin to see them not as flaws but as proof, you start to glow in a way no highlighter ever could. Now, confidence also shows up in how we carry ourselves around others. It's not about being the loudest in the room or the one with the perfect outfit. It's about walking in with your head held high, not because you think you're better, but because you finally know you're enough. You stop apologizing for taking up space. You speak clearly, without shrinking your voice or looking for permission. And you listen to your gut, not the trends, not the noise, not the outdated ideas of what a woman should look like at your age. One of the most underrated forms of confidence is simplicity. Choosing comfort over flash. Wearing what feels good instead of what someone else says is age appropriate. Confidence is putting on a soft cotton dress, brushing your hair back, and saying, "This is me. This is how I want to feel today." There's something freeing about that kind of clarity, when you're no longer dressing to impress but dressing to express. And you know what else? Let's talk about friendships. The older we get, the more we start to notice who really matters. Who energizes us, and who drains us. Who listens with kindness, and who only calls when they need something. Confidence after 60 often means choosing quality over quantity. It's letting go of the friendships that feel forced, and leaning into the ones that feel like home. Maybe it's just one person you can laugh with over coffee, or sit in silence with on a walk. You don't need a crowd to feel worthy. You need connection. And when you show up as your most honest self, without the need to prove or please, you attract people who love you for you. No filters, no performances, no pretending. That's the kind of friendship that fuels your confidence like nothing else. And what about romantic confidence? Let's not leave that out. Whether you've been married for decades, are newly single, or happily on your own, there's a certain beauty in knowing what you want at this stage in life. You've outgrown the games. You know what kindness feels like. You know how to recognize red flags. And you've probably learned that love, true, steady love, has more to do with how someone makes you feel than how they make you look. So if you're still waiting to feel ready to love again, or to love yourself again, maybe this is your sign. Confidence isn't something you wait to find. It's something you decide to claim. You get to say, "I may not be 30 anymore, but I've never been wiser or more sure of who I am." And let me tell you, that kind of energy, it's magnetic. It lights up a room. You don't need to be flawless to be desirable. You don't need to erase your age to be radiant. There's a fire that comes with living through the storms and still standing. That's a kind of beauty that no amount of makeup can match. Of course, if putting on a little lipstick makes you feel good, then go for it. This isn't about rejecting makeup, it's about not needing it to feel whole. There's a big difference. One comes from freedom. The other, from fear. Confidence after 60 means choosing what feels like you, not what the magazines or the ads or the younger women on Instagram tell you is acceptable. It means deciding that your face, just as it is, tells a better story than anything money can buy. And guess what? People notice. They sense that ease. They're drawn to it. They might not even know why, but it's there. It's in the way you smile without hesitation. The way you look people in the eye. The way you stop apologizing for getting older and start celebrating it instead. You see, confidence is contagious. The moment you begin to truly embrace yourself, at your current age, and your current body, you give silent permission to every other woman around you to do the same. That's powerful. That's revolutionary. Especially in a world that tries so hard to make women over 60 feel invisible. But you're not invisible. You're luminous. You carry decades of lessons, of heartbreaks, of victories, of moments that broke you and built you all at once. And when you walk into a room owning that story, without covering it up, without shrinking it down, you inspire others to do the same. So maybe the next time you look in the mirror, instead of seeing what's changed, you will see what's been revealed. The real you. The strong you. The woman who made it through all of it and still smiles like she has a whole lot of life left to live. And let's be honest, you do. And maybe that's the whole point, not to chase some idea of perfection, but to finally be at peace with yourself. To step into each day not worried about covering up, but focused on showing up. Fully. Authentically. Unapologetically. Because confidence isn't about changing who you are. It's about remembering who you've always been. You see, there's a kind of quiet magic that happens when you no longer need validation to feel valuable. You don't wake up wondering what others think of you. You wake up wondering how you feel, what you want, and what kind of day you choose to have. That shift, however small, is powerful. It means you're living from the inside out, not the outside in. So many of us have spent years, sometimes decades, believing that we had to look a certain way to be accepted. That a little gray hair or a deeper wrinkle made us somehow less than. But every woman I've ever known who stopped trying to hide her age and started embracing it, her laugh lines, her silver hair, her softening skin, found a freedom she didn't even realize she was missing. It's like letting out a deep breath you didn't know you were holding. Because the truth is, your value was never in your youth. It was in your character. Your resilience. Your kindness. Your experiences. And now, after all these years, you have more of those than ever before. You're a library of wisdom. A lighthouse for the women coming up behind you. And a reminder that age isn't something to resist, it's something to rise into. And yes, there will be days when it's hard. When you feel invisible. When the mirror reflects back someone who looks unfamiliar. That's okay. Confidence doesn't mean you never have doubts. It means you don't let those doubts define you. You meet them with compassion, and then you keep going. You put on your walking shoes. You call that friend. You start that painting. You hold your grandchild close. You speak your truth in a way that's calm, clear, and kind. You take up space, not because you have something to prove, but because your presence matters. And if you ever need a reminder, just look at the path you've walked. The people you've loved. The storms you've weathered. There is strength in you that no wrinkle can erase. There is grace in you that no product can replicate. And there is beauty in you that was never meant to fade, it was meant to shine differently with time. So maybe today, you stand in front of the mirror and say something new. Not "I look tired" or "I miss the way I used to be." But something simple. Something honest. I am enough. Or even better, I like who I am becoming. Because becoming never stops, not at 30, not at 50, not at 80. We're always unfolding, always learning, always finding new parts of ourselves. And that, more than anything, is where confidence lives. Not in how you look, but in how you live. How you love. How you see yourself when no one else is watching. So whether today you wear makeup or you don't, whether your hair is dyed or natural, whether you're dressed up or in your cozy at-home clothes, know this, confidence is already in you. And every time you choose to show up as yourself, just as you are, you make that confidence grow a little stronger. You inspire someone else to do the same. Maybe it's your daughter. Maybe it's a younger coworker. Maybe it's a stranger at the grocery store who watches you smile and thinks, "Wow, I hope I age like her." And that, right there, is the legacy of living with confidence. Not the perfect skin or the polished look, but the impact you leave just by being. So take up space, dear one. Wear your years with pride. Walk into the room like it belongs to you, because it does. And never, ever let anyone make you feel like you need to cover up your power to be worthy of attention. You are beautiful. You are wise. You are still blooming. And the world is better for having you in it, exactly as you are. If this message touched your heart, I'd love to hear from you in the comments. Share your thoughts, your stories, or even just a simple "I'm claiming my confidence." If you found this video uplifting, go ahead and give it a like. And if you'd like more heart-to-heart conversations like this, hit that subscribe button. Here's to living your boldest, brightest, most beautiful chapter yet. No makeup required.